One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to SoulCall Sundays. My name is Lisa Ferrero, and I'm the founder and spiritual director of SoulCall Ministries. And today we're going to launch into a new theme for the month of July. And the theme for the month is Shift into Freedom, as there are celebrations around the United States of America, not as big as usual because of the global pandemic, but we're celebrating Independence Day. And this idea of freedom and liberation, and what ultimately makes us free, is it a state of mind that creates this state of freedom, or is it the ability to actually physically move about? And as we're seeing, being able to physically move about because of the global pandemic has become something that's not so easy to do. It reminds me of that song, "Free your mind and the rest will follow." It's a state of consciousness. It's a state of being. It's a state of awareness. As Albert Einstein said, the true value of a human being is determined primarily by the measure and the sense in which he or she has obtained liberation from the self, smallest self. Liberation from the smallest self, or those things that keep us working within the constructs of creation rather than participating fully with Creator, is how I like to say it. He goes on to say, we shall require a substantially new manner of thinking if humanity is to survive. And I question, Albert Einstein wrote that in 1934 in a book called The World as I See It. It will require a new manner of thinking if humanity is to survive. And so I'm suggesting here that more than a manner of thinking, it's a way of being that is required for us to shift our perception. And so that moves us into today's theme, which is open-hearted awareness. And an open heart can only be experienced when we go beyond the realm of the intellectual mind. Thubten said that, Anam Thubten. And this natural capacity is within us, and it requires a shift in perception, a move to the heart rather than the mind. And so since we know also that mind isn't located in one space in our human bodies, it's everywhere. Heart, we definitely have a physical heart, but in this case, when we're saying open-hearted awareness, more than a location, or some of you might be onto the wheels of energy in our bodies called chakras, that's not even what I'm talking about. An open-hearted awareness is one where we start to function more like the heart itself instead of seeing ourselves as the physical heart. What the heck does that mean? I'm saying it like this. There's a way that the heart itself, the definition of the heart, I love the definitions of things. So Old English gives us this definition of heart: hollow muscular organ that circulates blood. A hollow muscular organ which circulates blood. So the heart itself doesn't really hold on to anything. It's hollow and it allows things to circulate. It's hollow and it allows things to circulate. So if in our being, we could become functioning entities, energetics of a consciousness of open-hearted awareness, we would allow things to flow. We would allow things to come through us and flow through us without holding on to something in particular, making it like there's an experience we have that we want to recreate. I'm not sure if you've ever had the experience of wanting to recreate something. I remember years ago, I was in San Francisco with one of my best friends in the whole world, and we flew into the Bay Area, got into the town, into the city of San Francisco, checked into our hotel, and then walked down to the pier to just hang out. Got very hungry by 5 o'clock because it would be 8 o'clock. I was still living in Pennsylvania at the time. So by the time it was 5 o'clock, we made our way up the hill, like to the top of the Nob Hill area, and a restaurant was just about to open. We went into this restaurant. Every single thing about that evening was magic. The gentleman who served us, the food, it was intimate, it was quiet, it was delicious, white tablecloths, all of that. It was
we were so hungry, but it was the best meal we'd ever had. It was an Italian restaurant. And we vowed to never go try to find that place again. We couldn't remember exactly where we were after, we had a glass of wine with dinner or two, and decided we must never try to find that place if we ever come back, because it was one of those things where we just allowed that experience to happen. The experience is frozen in time, but we didn't let it become frozen in mind. Frozen in time, but not frozen in mind. Why? Because it would have created this idea that we had to go recreate a certain situation that was epic. Now that just happened again. Natalia and I were traveling we were in Geneva, and we went to, this is a true story, it's so funny. And we tried to recreate it and it didn't work. This is exactly what I'm saying. In the middle of the evening, it was about 8 o'clock, and we left the chateau and went for a walk and into this little village and found this Thai restaurant, of all things, in the middle of the village of Geneva. And it was this magic, enchanted situation, because it just appeared out of nowhere, it felt like. And it was, the best attendant we ever had. This guy, and there were a bunch of other people seated outside in this courtyard, laughing and telling stories. And this gentleman looked otherworldly to us because he was just so happy. He was like the proud restaurant owner, and it was after hours and people were just hanging out. And he served us each a glass of wine, and it ended up like being on the house somehow or something like this. So the next night we wanted to take some friends. And when we went back to the place, we were asking for the gentleman who served us. And not only did they not even remember who that person was, they said there's nobody that looks like that or with that name ever worked there. I have no idea, except that we tried to recreate this magical experience. It wasn't to be recreated. It was to be participated with as a one-time thing. It was frozen in time, but we try to make it frozen in mind. Now it's frozen in consciousness, but it's in our hearts too, as this magical event that reminded us of this process of allowing. Sometimes we get into the idea of playing with creation more than playing with creator itself. I call it, when you play with creation, it's only maneuvering things that are already here, the ideas and thoughts of other people that are already here. That's fine, and there's a time for that. I'm sitting on a chair, somebody made this chair. I'm fine with that. But there's a way that we can participate with creator itself more than creation. I call it participating with creator rather than secondhand source. Secondhand source. I remember being in an airport, and this is when they started putting televisions in airports all the time. And the big topic at the time was secondhand smoke, and how we finally started to get rid of that in common areas, secondhand smoke. But I deemed it secondhand sound. It's like, now I got to deal with secondhand sound. But don't allow yourself to participate with secondhand source, which means only creating from things that have already been created. This open-hearted awareness is calling for us to allow things to flow through us like blood, but not to get stuck. Allow us to become as hollow and porous in nature, to allow things to come and pass through us rather than having us hold on to one specific idea of how it could be or how it should be, as some people would say. There's a way, like if the heart stops beating, that's the only time the blood will stop and get stuck. We don't want that. We want to keep things hollow and moving, being more aligned with creator than creation. I also liken it to not having a consciousness of the Venus flytrap, which opens up and it lures its prey in, pretending to be open-hearted, and then as soon as something really precious and amazing comes in, you just want to snatch it for yourself and keep it forever. No. Allow yourself to go with the flow of life. An open-hearted awareness is one that allows for all of nature to just come flowing in and flowing out like energy. Last week we started to work with the energy of chi, life force energy. And today we're going to incorporate a practice of allowing energy to come into our bodies and flow through us. The shift into freedom then is about us being able to free our minds from the attachments and limitations of the way it was perceived that things must look to have a successful life, and allowing ourselves to go beyond that realm of the intellectual mind that likes things to be in a line and order, and to play more with nature, the circuitous way that creation shows up and shows us a really good time. I had this painting downstairs in my room for a while. Edika started to paint this, but I love the swirl of it, the swirl and the spiral nature of open-heartedness. Not completely finished yet, and it might be something I'll play with and finish myself, but allow yourselves to take in the idea of openness, and to change our manner of thinking. The other thing Einstein said was, we can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. Meaning we have to shift beyond, move beyond those habitual pattern thinkings, those thoughts that keep us small, that keep us thinking that what we see is the way it is. No. Once we start to align more with source through a meditation practice or a practice like Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz is going to take us through in just a few moments, of bringing the energy into the body, of participating with life energy itself, participating with creator rather than creation, we will get this sense of peace, this joy that is inexhaustible. It's ever new, and it's not something you'll be bored with, as Yogananda said. You can't outgive God, you can't outcreate source, whatever you want to call that. But allowing it to move into our beings, move through us, and show us new things, instead of, like the Doobie Brothers song, trying hard to recreate what has yet to be created. We're not trying to recreate something. We are here in joyful participation with the evolution of a consciousness that requires an open-hearted awareness. And an awareness is not a thinking. It's a participation in a way with subtle vibratory forces that are outside of the realm of our senses. So participating in this way, taking our senses as an example, if one way to cultivate this kind of a consciousness of open-hearted awareness is to use the senses to bring into the being, into the cells of our being, source reminding things, God reminding things. So for a week, if you tried this for a week, to allow yourself to read books that make you think of God, practicing the presence. Hold beautiful things in nature, go out and touch leaves. If you're creating food or whatever it is you're doing, creating anything that you're doing with your hands, give all that to God. Like, these are the hands of God, touching the hands of God. A friend of mine wrote a song, these are the hands of God, holding the hands of God. Over a 4th of July weekend with Circle of Love gathering from, 20 some years ago, I think. Recognizing everything you're participating with is part of the Creator's creation. But then ask for guidance from Creator itself to create something new. Sing a new song. Walk a new way to see different things. Whatever you bring in from your eyes, may it be God reminding. Everything you do for a week, do it with the thought that it was created from source and bringing it back to source. And this sense of freedom is this freedom from desires. Desires will be endless, but having only one desire, and that is to get back to that beam of light, as Yogananda would say. Get back to the beam, not playing in the motion picture of life. There's the reality and the non-reality. And the non-reality is this creation, getting back to Creator. That's when we're participating fully with what is. Unconditionally loving means there's nothing that can make me stop loving this individual or this thing. And that's the way source energy works to create. It's an unconditional, inexhaustible joy of expression. So just open-hearted awareness, open-hearted love. Let's take this into meditation right now. It's just a few moments to just close your eyes and sit up straight. And lift your eyes to the point between the eyebrows. I was reading something about songs and sacred songs, and this is certainly one of them. When I wrote this song, Open Wide My Heart, I was coming out of a meditation. And this is one of these soul seed songs that when you sing it, you're singing it back to Source. Source brought it right to this place. And when you sing it, singing it back to God or to Source, it opens that heart and allows love to pour through. So it also energizes the cells of your being and helps to expand them in the openness of light, in the openness of light. Open wide my heart. Sing it to the beloved with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, and all your mind. And watch this seed song, this soul song, reverberate through your being to bring you to a higher state of awareness, a different way of thinking, which is more about being in participation and co-creation with Creator itself. And allow yourself to shift into freedom with open-hearted awareness. Let's take that into the silence.
Open wide my heart. 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 Open wide. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my
And coming out of that beautiful meditation of open wide my heart, I'm going to offer you a brilliant teacher, Deborah Weisenberger Lippitz, is going to take us through a participation exercise. If you were with us last week, I started switching out the word a meditation practice for participation practice, and allowing us to tap into creator energy, source energy that is with us and available to us all the time. As that Albert Einstein quote, I said, just allowing ourselves to use a different mind which is an open-hearted awareness. It might not be mind at all, it's consciousness. So allow yourselves to enjoy this participation practice. And here's Deborah Weisenberger Lippitz.
So either standing or sitting, please straighten the back, straighten the spine, and then with the eyes open, please look forward from the center of the head, the mind's home, out in all directions to merge with nature's energy. Then continue further to merge with the stars, and further to merge with infinite space. Going out, seek the warmth and light, gather all the healing energy, love, wisdom, and pull it back through the stars, through nature, to the center of the head, and very gently close the eye. Now be aware of the center of the head, the mind's home, shining brightly. Now gently drop down into the middle of the chest, the heart center, and from there, radiate outward to merge with Lisa, myself, loved ones, and everyone with us today. So we are all integrated together as one. Again, from the center of the head, shining brightly, drop down into the heart center. Feel the sweetness inside, and from there, radiate outward through the body, illuminating the entire body and out to infinite space. Gather all the healing love, energy, chi, good wisdom, and pull it back, gently contracting deep inside the heart center, uniting, transforming, altering, healing. And again, from inside the heart center, radiate outward in all directions so easily to infinite space. Seek the warmth and light, gather all the healing, love, good wisdom, and pull it back deep inside, uniting, transforming, altering, healing. Now be aware of your hand and move the hands as if holding a delicate bubble in between the palms, and lift the hands up in front of the chest and feel this delicate bubble in between the hands. Now move this delicate bubble and open up, expanding this bubble to about the size of a beach ball. And close, condensing back into a delicate bubble. And open, expanding out. And close, condensing back into this delicate bubble. Open, expanding, and close into a delicate bubble. Again, opening, the left hand fingers begin to extend and flow into a delicate bubble between the palms. Open, left hand fingers are stretching, extending, flow, condensing into a delicate bubble. Open, left hand fingers are stretching, extending, flow into a delicate bubble. Open, left hand fingers are really stretched. Flow. Open, left hand fingers stretching, stretching, stretching. Flow. Now gently bring the heels of the hands together, touching, fingers touching. Now slowly open the eyes. And observe your fingers. The left hand fingers are longer than the right. Isn't that fun?
What? Wow.
Why did that happen? Because you allowed your heart to open without any expectations. You allowed your heart to open, which merges with your consciousness, to move the life energy, the life force, the chi inside of you to obtain a tangible physical result. Mind, body, spirit, balanced and combined. Thank you so much.
So I'm looking at my fingers. I was making sure that I was really doing it on the bottom, and they are. Interesting. So incorporate that practice, that participation practice, into your week. Make that part of your week, learning to feel the energy around you and to pull it in and ground you, participating in a new way with open-hearted awareness. So thank you for joining us this morning on SoulCall Sundays to help us keep our ministry going. We thank you for your donations, which are coming in. If you would like to contribute to our nonprofit, soulcallministries.org/donate. No amount is too large or too small. And very soon we're going to be signed up again with Amazon Smile. We're updating some of the information there. So those of you who are sending us donations through Amazon Smile, we thank you. And if you're not doing that yet, we appreciate you choosing us as your nonprofit. Most of what we're doing in the world is helping to help each other. If there is somebody or a situation, a 501c3 that you are partial to, send us that information at info@soulcallministries.org. we're going to be putting together an opportunity for us to choose who we tithe to. So we would like to include as many submissions in that as possible, local and global. So we welcome all the wisdom you have about people doing amazing things in your community. If you'd like to share something with our newsletter, a SoulCall 360, send us something that you love from your hometown. Maybe it's your favorite place to go for a hike or a walk, or just something that just ignites the passion of co-creating with Source, your soul's calling with you. We welcome that. And check us out again, soulcallministries.org/events. We've got soul stone painting in the park. I had to make sure I was saying that right. Not stone souls. That's a whole different thing. Yeah, in the park coming up July 12th here in Columbus, Ohio, at Whetstone Park. For more information, you can go to the website. And we've got some classes coming up. One is going to be with Dr. Jim Lockhart, and it's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 classes, Tuesday, Thursday, starting on July 21st. And it's going to be the power of myth. And he's going to be working with comparative mythology and using most of the work of Joseph Campbell and examining the shadow. So it will be an immersion into your own shadow and helping to dismantle some things in your subconscious mind that aren't serving you anymore, creating this open-hearted awareness to help us to clear out old ideas and accept and co-create with Source, God, the beloved, more often. So we thank you for joining us, and wherever you are, no matter what's going on in your world, know that you are loved.